Right, how are you guys?
Oh, all right. I've got something.
Good.
I've got a dilemma.
Go on.
So, I've got this Chihuahua.
Yes.
Freddie.
So,
Freddie.
you'll be able to tell me because you all know about dogs. So, he goes out, right, and he goes to a lamppost and he sniffs the lamppost. Now, dogs then, don't they, when they sniff other dogs, lift their leg and wee on the lamppost, don't they?
Yeah.
He lifts his leg and wheezes the other way, which was directly at my leg. So instead of weeing on the lamppost, he lifts the other leg and wheezes the other way. What's that all about?
Does he do it all the time? I think he's trying to mark you, Sherry.
His territory, which is you.
Every time he lifts the wrong leg. Now I keep lifting his legs to show him, but he doesn't get it at all. I find it really disturbing.
Is this new behaviour, or has he always done it?
No, I think he's a confused Chihuahua.
Oh, yeah, well, now my Chihuahua Beanie, and Dee knows this for a fact, lifts her leg when she wheezes, and she's a girl dog.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
All strange then. Chihuahuas must be very...
And because I think she copied it, didn't she, from somebody else?
So I had a boy dog when she was a puppy who lifts his leg to do a wee. So even though she doesn't lift it the same way, so she doesn't lift it up, she lifts it the other way, like upwards, so she falls over. Yeah,
very elegant.
Like that. So that's how she wees. Anyway, Harriet's just not with us today. So today we have Dr. Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. Hey, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy, who is coming on to rock the show. Hi, darling.
Hello. Hi, darling. Tracy, I have a little question for you. I think people out there will really relate to this. Mm-hmm. So yesterday, I had a very, very, very stressful day. Now, I'm a quite stressy person. I can get stressed quite easily, so I take no notice of myself. Yeah. But anyway, it started about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was perfectly all right at 7 o'clock in the morning. By 10, I felt I didn't feel well. By 11, I felt quite ill. Oh. By 12, my back completely collapsed. No. And I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't kneel, nothing. The pain was excruciating. I have now got a very hot, boiling water bottle strapped to my back to stop the pain. So now, what I'm saying to you is, I believe in this strange COVID, upsetting, disturbing world we live in. So I think stress, I believe stress caused that yesterday. Yeah. And I think, Tracy, I don't know what you feel, but this is part and parcel of what is happening in the world, that our bodies are getting so stressed and so worried. I mean, I know a lot of people, particularly in our industry, who are so scared and worried that they're never, ever going to work again. There's never going to be a job. And that it's taking itself on, it's physical now. And it's a physical thing that's happening to people. And I swear that that's what happened to me. I mean, I'm standing now, but I have got a boiling hot water bottle strapped to me.
Oh,
so, really... but Tracy, why I'm telling you is that I feel that you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course. I mean, that's weird. I mean, there is no doubt that certainly you can get what I would call physical things happening. You can get what we call pre-viral things where you feel lousy, back pain, and then something else comes on. So there are the reasons for getting that too. I would agree with that. And I would say, any doctor would say, well, hold on a minute, have you pulled your back? Have you done this? Have you done that? So they'll look for all the physical reasons that might explain what you've gone through. And of course, if this persists, there might well be a physical reason for this. So you need to keep an eye on that, Sherry. Of course, any medic would say that. If it passes and you just say, well, it was one of those things. But you have to rule out a physical proper problem. And I suspect if it just passes, it will be fine. But you're so right. You couldn't be more on topic, Sherry. I've been talking to people now. Of course, I see a different subsection of people, but nonetheless, we see loads of people and talk to loads of people. And I think this is almost, I'm not going to say harder than the initial lockdown, but I think we're in quite a bad time now. Because at least before we were all frightened, weren't we? We were seeing all these death was around us. We were in lockdown, we were frightened, but we knew we had to do it. And now, of course, there's no end to this. Nobody's telling us when is this going to all happen. You know, nobody can say, "Oh, by Christmas, you know, we'll have a vaccine, we'll all be back." Nobody knows. And I think I was only saying this to a couple of other people this week, and you're so right, Sherry. The stress, the worry that a lot of people are internalizing is now showing itself. And I don't know whether you saw as well, Sherry, there was something that came out in one of the press releases, but it's quite interesting. And we all talked about this or touched on it earlier. But the number of people that are going to be suffering with drink-related problems, mental health issues, because frankly, you know, people are internalizing their concerns. And what else is there to do? Have a few minutes. And there's going to be a lot of physical, there's going to be a lot of liver problems, a lot of psychological problems. Actually, it was a report by the psychiatrist, the body of psychiatrists. It was a proper paper that they were releasing about the impact this is going to have and is having on psychological well-being. So I think we're going to see more and more, Sherry. I do agree. And it could well be psychosomatic. You could have been getting yourself, as we all do, in that fever pitch state. But obviously keep an eye out in case it is something else. But
I honestly,
I agree.
I do believe that it's a stress-related thing. You know, what with my brother and work and moving, as Debbie keeps saying,
as well.
It's all of those things, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was going to say,
you know, the thing is, it's very interesting that it was your back, because, you know, a back, they say, you know, Louise Hay, you can heal your life. She said, when you have back problems, it's because of it's about you're carrying money worries in your back. You worry in your back.
And if you think about it, our muscles get so tense. I don't know about you, Sherry, but when I'm really stressed, I literally come home from work and my shoulders need to sort of come down. And I do agree. I think it really is. Watch this space, because I think we all need to look after ourselves.
So we need to move on, but we must talk about this again. This is really, and Sherry, darling, I wish you better. Anyway, Tracy, what to watch Wednesday?
Oh, we love it. And I think we've all been watching the same thing. So, Des, have you been watching it?
Have I? Oh my God.
I mean, now, Sherry, you
I haven't, because I've just moved, but I know exactly the story.
I mean, but David Tennant, what a weird bloke he is.
I mean, the actors are, of course, you guys would appreciate this more than most. I mean, amazing cast. Amazing cast. David Tennant, the most extraordinary actor. One of my patients said yesterday, I didn't realise he was such a good actor. I went, what? This guy is phenomenal, David Tennant. He plays that character so well. But I don't know about you. And we're on 2 or 3 now. The third one's tonight, isn't it? But did it surprise you? Because I was waiting for them to go back and relive, you know, him being shown to do the murders and shown to do what he did. Has it surprised you the way they've done this program? It's all about the aftermath and the biographer.
No, I don't think. I think this. You know, it's been taken. That obviously thinking, well, should they show it? And I think they just thought, no, we're just going to go forward. But who knows what's going to happen tonight?
So good.
I think it's extraordinary how he actually admitted it completely and how he owned up. There was no sort of denial at all. And that's what shocked everyone, I think. So I think that was the emphasis was on that rather than, you know.
The arrogance. He was terribly arrogant. Arrogance.
Completely. Horrible man.
Amazing.
Are you watching something a bit lighter as well, Dee?
Well, yes. Do you know something? I mean, you know me, I go from sort of the sublime to the ridiculous with most things. But my little granddaughter came and stayed with me for the first time. She's 9, for about 9 months. And she, you know, they all look on their YouTube and they sort of have very sort of lightweight, sort of frivolous sort of that stuff. And so I thought, I'm going to actually get her into something a bit old-fashioned. So we watched The Sound of Music, and it was hilarious because the first few scenes were the nuns, and she was going, "Are you kidding? What are you doing to me?" You know, well, I'm watching nuns singing, and then, you know, "Oh, Maria," and all the rest of it. And then suddenly, as soon as the kids arrived, and she suddenly saw the love interest, she was riveted, and this is really good.
Great, wasn't it? It's the best movie. I've always wanted to go to those sing-along ones. You know, you can go to the sing-along and wear the gear.
Yeah, and talk about music, amazing music. We have got the most amazing Marty Wilde flying into the nest. And he's got a new video out with his daughter, Kim Wilde, which we're going to play for you now before he comes in.
And now, just like before, out of our heads and we're on the floor. Oh, memories, you're haunting me. Why won't you let me be?
Hello, Marty.
Hi, girls.
Good to see you. Good to
Lovely
see
to
you.
see you. Marty, we've just watched your video with your lovely daughter, Kim.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great.
Absolutely fantastic.
It was great fun to make. It was most unusual. I mean, in these we've had to, the human beings have had to adapt in these COVID times to all these strange things we do. But it worked. It just, I didn't think it would. Honestly, didn't I? Thought, you know.
It was fabulous. And you looked so cool in your hat and glasses.
Well, yeah, it was Kim's idea. Kim, she directs me on these things because I'm past caring and all that, but she's a good girl that way.
Oh, she's amazing.
Brilliant.
We all love her, and we all love your. I mean, honestly, I have to tell you, Marty, my aunt Betty, actually was a big fan of yours, and I used to have your record when I was a kid, Rubber Ball.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I used to dance to it. I remember it really well. So I mean, I grew up with you and following your amazing career.
Yeah, I mean, it's like something. It's a strange thing, really, being in this industry so long. You know, there's so many things that you know you forget. I forgot all about. I even recorded Rubber Ball, but of course I sing it. I do.
It's fabulous.
Marty, I want to ask you about Larry Parnes because I'm related to Cliff Richards, slightly related to Cliff Richards. So, but Larry was the biggest. Well, he was the first, wasn't he? Music manager of all time.
Yes, he was.
And he created you all. Well, he didn't create you all, but he created all your names.
He created all the names. Yeah, he did. But funny enough, the time we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, I was a Wild. There was a Fury. There was a Georgie Fame.
Yeah.
Yes.
People forget that. Georgie Fame. What else? There was Vince Eager. There was Vince Eager. There was Tommy Steele. Steele.
But was that? I mean, that must have been. Did you realise how amazing that the time was that when all that was happening?
Yes.
Did you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because before rock and roll, there'd only been like the weekend Sunday joint Billy Cotton band show, which was lovely. Don't get me wrong, I love Billy Cotton. I loved all that. It was great fun growing up like that. But rock and roll came in. It was such a difference, such a huge.
Amazing.
It was a huge, an eruption of all sorts of things, and of course youngsters were having, we had power. We're starting to get power as a real teenager, because we'd lost that feeling of a war feeling. With most of us a lot of us had grown up with a war behind us, and it was freedom. It was freedom.
Yes. Wow. And also, I suppose the families thought that was innocence going, wasn't it? Because it became sexy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it became sexy, but I mean, I saw Rock Around the Clock in that film.
Yeah.
And when I heard that blew me away. It was the rhythm that got me, and it still does. I still think.
Me too.
And it's not. It has changed. Obviously, rhythms do change, but at the end of the day, people dance. Young people and young people today, they dance to a rhythm. They're not, just dancing to music. They're dancing to a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
definitely
true. Yes.
And of course, then you had Bill Haley and the Comets. You had all that come about, didn't you? Who were amazing.
Yeah.
It was a revolutionary time, wasn't it? You were all pioneers in your own right.
It was the best time in terms of music, because that huge change, you know, I can't envisage. It would be, I suppose, the only change I could think of is if you hadn't heard of rock and roll and everything had been classical music, let's say yesterday, and then today you heard rap and you heard the music, that kind of difference. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was monumental emotions.
Monumental, yeah. And the Beatles came out of all of you, didn't they? Really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the Beatles, they learned an awful lot from us. There's no question.
Yes.
I think when Cliff and I and Tommy Steele, when we began, I think there were, let's say, minor mistakes, not major mistakes, but minor things that maybe we look back on now and change. But the Beatles looked what we were doing and thought, right, we'll change that, we'll do this, and we'll do that, and of course it worked. And you know, what can I say? I've always been they're such an inspiring band, and I'm glad recently I've noticed on YouTube and things like that their names their videos are coming up a lot more, because they were the greatest. Some of the greatest musicians in many ways, and certainly the best songwriters this country has almost ever produced.
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Marty, my name's Tracy. I've been adopted on the show today, but I know all about you. I was part of Kim Wilde. Kim, I love Kim, and I love you. I just want to know, because I was reading up about you, and my mum loved you and still does. Can I just ask you, are you offended? You were a teen idol. Would that be offensive to call you that? But you were like, you know, now there's all the boy bands and people, you know, there's all these, all this interest in, not only in their music, really, Rich, but in them as people, and, you know, all these fans and fan bases. You had the most enormous fan base. And did you regard yourself, did you know that you were such a, you know, teen idol at that time?
I think, yeah, I would say probably we did. I mean, I'm, you know, speaking on behalf of Cliff, I'm sure both of us and Tommy would have known that. We would have known how popular we were. But for me personally, it was, I wanted to be a singer since I was 14. And now I was 18 or 17 or 18. So it was just a natural progression for me. And to be honest with you, my head was always away thinking of something else, never thinking of, and I used to look in the mirror and wonder what people saw, because I couldn't see it. All I saw was a man who needed a shave, you know.
You're very modest, Marty. You're very modest.
So how did it happen, Marty? So how did it happen from the 14-year-old who wants to be a singer to the 18-year-old who became a star?
Very quickly, a brief synopsis. I formed a group when skiffle music, Lonnie Donegan and skiffle music started. And then it was a skiffle group. And then when I heard Bill Haley, I said, we're going to do rock and roll. We started doing, as an amateur band, doing gigs, little shows, charity shows at hospitals and all sorts of places. But gradually, we were getting noticed. And one day, there was a big major competition at Hammersmith in one of the big dance halls there. And we entered it. And we came second to Chas McDevitt. Well, Chas McDevitt had a hit in the charts at the time. So to come second as amateurs against Chas McDevitt and Nancy Whiskey was incredible. And so we were getting noticed. And it was just, I wouldn't say it was inevitable, but I think it was on the cards. It was going to happen.
Yeah. And it was such an incredible and exciting, fantastic time. And you're part of all of us, all of our childhoods, everything. We grew up with you. So we've always loved you. And you know, and the other thing is, Marty, how can you look so incredible?
Oh, yes.
I know.
You're still gorgeous. I hope your wife isn't listening, but you're absolutely gorgeous.
Well, someone asked me the other day, you know, what's the secret of marriage and to look good? And I said, it's always the same stock answer, but I say no mortgage and a wife that doesn't nag. And I have a wonderful wife and no mortgage. And that
mortgage for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, give
Marty, if you had your time over again, would you have done something else, or were you never going to do anything but sing?
No, I love music so much. There'd never been anything else in my life. It's so ingrained in me. But the only wish I had, which I think was sad in a way, was because I came from a certain kind of background in the streets of London. I didn't even think of having piano lessons, but I wish I had. I wish
me too.
I'd have been a much more prolific writer. I mean, I write all my songs on my guitar, but it would have been a lot better on a keyboard, on keyboards, no doubt about it.
Well,
it's one of those things, isn't it?
Lovely having you in the show, and thank you so much for joining us, darling. And a big hug from all of us, and just thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
Well, you take great.
Privilege to meet you.
It really is an honour.
Take great care of yourselves. Look after yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wish you so well. Oh yeah, Kim's just arrived. She says,
"Oh, come and say hello. Let her come and say hello."
Kim, come and say hello. Kim. She's gonna come round. She just showed me a piece of paper and it said, "Talk about the album."
Yes, exactly.
Talk about it.
Come on then. She can do it.
About the album. Hello. Hey. There it is.
Tell us about it,
Please.
Kim.
Well, you are in case you are.
No, but she's right.
Yeah.
That's what you're on the show for. Tell us about the album.
Please do, Kim.
Well, it started about 3 years ago. I thought if it was going to be the last album, I felt it might be the last album that I ever made. Who knows? And I thought, well, if it is, I'd like it to be self-penned, and I'd like to involve obviously Roxanne, who's my other daughter. She's singing 5 tracks on the album, and of course the boss here. This is the boss. I'm so scared. I tell you, if I'm surrounded by women, I have all of you. I have my wife over there. I've got Kim here. Help!
Hey girls, so lovely to see you all. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Your
So
dad, we're all.
the album's
in love
out
with your
October 2nd. It's called Running Together. And
Running
it's great.
Together.
It's a wonderful album, and so I just wanted to remind and to talk about the album.
Absolutely.
Of course, we'll talk about it too.
We will talk about it. We'll put a link on our
On our website. We'll do that now.
Yeah, we'll do it now.
Beautiful.
We will. Buy it now.
Hi guys, lovely to
Yeah,
see you.
yeah,
Thank
take
you,
care.
darling.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what's so nice about that? They just look such a lovely tight family, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
He looks incredible. He looks
Wonderful.
Okay.
Amazing.
And do you know what, Dee? I have an idea. Do you know how to help us look incredible?
Yes. Wait, very, very good segue into Dermawand. I've been
What
telling
is
Debbie
that,
about this,
Dee?
and now this is an amazing invention that I have just discovered. And girls, I know Tracy. I know you're the queen of cosmetics, Tracy. But honestly, I don't know if you know about this. It's called Dermawand. But it's absolutely incredible. And you've been saying to me, I look rather good lately, darling. Well,
how often have you been using it?
I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and it has made a big difference. And it does things like it lifts the skin a little bit, and also it gives you vitality. It attacks the areas that you don't want to that are a bit dodgy around the eyes. Mm-hmm. It also makes you feel very you look at yourself in the mirror. And I've noticed a difference after a few days.
Yeah. So Dermawand's using radio frequency. So what Dermawand is a home piece of kit that you normally, I think, if I'm right, I hope I'm right, use about twice a day. And it's a radio frequency treatment. And radio frequency does stimulate new collagen in the skin. So it causes collagen formation. So what you're using is a home device that will stimulate collagen, and as you say, it will increase, if it does what it says on the tin, which there's no reason why it shouldn't, it will, increase that blood flow to the skin. It will increase collagen and make your skin look firmer and more elastic.
What I don't understand, when people say it increases collagen, how is that possible, Tracy? How is it possible?
Well, I can't specifically talk about Dermawand as such because I don't know all the stats on it, but it's a radiofrequency treatment. And the way radiofrequency works in clinical application, and therefore in, one would assume, in a home application, is that if you use radiofrequency, it generates heat. And heat in the skin causes a chemical reaction, a bit like, I'm being very, very basic here, a bit like frying an egg. If you heat an egg, it will become either a fried egg or a poached egg or a boiled egg. If you actually heat collagen, it will do two things. It will remodel and it will tighten and contract, which is why, the areas that you treat look more lifted or more firm, but also it will stimulate new collagen formation. It has to be obvious. I won't go into great detail, but it has to be at a certain temperature to work, effectively. Sure. It has to be done in a certain way to work effectively. But that is what radiofrequency treatments do, and that's what we use a lot in clinic.
And I'm assuming you have to do it often.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, with any RF, you would anyway. I believe Dermawand. I'm not so au fait with that, but I believe Dermawand's twice a day. For a few minutes, I know that.
And we've also got an offer on our website, which is, of course, amazingwonderbirds.com, and it's 25% discount. Really? So you can buy, it comes with all the creams, and you can't get this particular offer anywhere else in the world.
Do you use it on your neck, or is it?
Yes, I have been using it on my neck.
And your chest?
Yes, here, and I've noticed a difference here as well.
Have you?
Because it was getting a bit. Yes.
Sherry's got a lovely decolletage, don't you, Sherry?
She has.
Yes, that's never grown. That's never got any older.
Brilliant.
Have you been very good at protecting it, Sherry? With
yes, I use a lot of cream. Yeah. I very rarely lie in the sun. Very rarely.
Well, it's been absolutely, what an amazing show. Sherry, I do wish you better, darling.
Thank you.
I do wish you better. Dr. Tracy Mountford, as always.
A legend.
Fabulous person. Fabulous honorary Wonderbird.
Thank you for inviting me today, girls.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore. Always.
Marty Wilde was just
amazing.
Yeah, the thing is,
the ultimate.
Oh my God, he's so gorgeous and still sexy in his 80s.
Yes, lovely man. Absolutely. I just love the fact he's so nice. Such a nice man.
So we think about, we say about all these guys of a certain age and we never date them. Just imagine, they do exist because we've just had walking and talking proof, haven't we? With
exactly, except he's married. But we should talk about dating on Friday. Anyway, who's coming in on Friday? We have Helena Watts coming in, giving us all the gossip. We have Amanda Waring talking about her book, and we can also talk about dating on Friday because we want to, find out about dates and dating.
Yes. As if.
You never know.
Who knows? Anyway, guys, see you all. Have a lovely rest of the day, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye. Bye.